So this video will be the good, the bad, and possibly the ugly on our new Z3100 Brinkley fifth wheel. As you can see, it's tied to an F450, which I highly recommend for anything alone, just based on the wide track front end. The turning ratio on this truck is absolutely amazing and much better than an F350, 250. I've had both, and this thing is just crazy good. So there's tons of videos about the Brinkley Z3100, so I'm not going to get into really any of that stuff. But I'll just go briefly over what I like, what I maybe don't like, what could be improved. So let's go. So one thing I love is the suspension and this Gen Y gooseneck. I've had another gooseneck on a different fifth wheel that used an airbag, and this Gen Y is great because you don't have to worry about an air compressor. You just hook it up and go. If you combine that with this new suspension, and forgive the video here for a second, but this new suspension has 8 shock absorbers, 4 coil springs, plus these bars, looks like some sort of anti-sway or support bars. Between this and the Gen Y hitch, it's absolutely the best riding fifth wheel I've ever had, and this will be my 4th. Also, this has the new Lippert anti-lock drum brakes, and there are some pretty cool videos that Lippert put out on the anti-lock features of these drum brakes, so that's kind of nice, good safety feature. So let's talk these stairs. So these are more ride, and it seems everybody's going to these flip up stairs, and I do like these because they allow you to turn them up and shake out dirt and whatever, leaves, whatever, before you get in your rig. However, there's no strut assist, so there's no assist arm to take some of the weight off the stairs. Not incredibly heavy, but it would be nice to have some sort of air or strut assist, hydraulic assist, whatever you want to call it. If I could be even more honest, I'd prefer the old RV style, where you had a step that was in the bottom here that folded up, compressed into the side of the coach, and you'd pull it and the steps would come down. Because this thing, if you're in a parking lot or other tight spaces, you may not have a way to actually get into your rig because you can't get the steps down. Love the door handle. Most RVs had the little round, or half circle door handle mounted to the side. This thing gives you support from the very first step all the way up to you get in the coach. Pretty nice. So I like their water system here. All the controls, easy to do. I do like the electric gates for the gray and the black water. On one of my fifth wheels, I had electric gates, and one of them broke. So that was fun, but those do work well. I wish I had on one fifth wheel, this controller was on the door, and it was easier because when you were hooking up, you could really see what the heck you were doing, where now it's there's some guesswork. You have to stop and look and stop and look, but again, a very minor inconvenience, but That's what we get on a Brinkley, is very minor imperfections. So I don't know how many of you have had mice invade your fifth wheel or RV. It's happened to me several times on different units. And I think Brinkley has done generally a pretty good job underneath with this big belly pan. But with that said, a mouse, I mean, if I can get my finger in, and now my finger is beyond this belly pan and it's now up in the coach. If I can do it with my finger, trust me, a mouse could easily get through. And I don't really know what to do. I was thinking of, like right here, it's pretty tight. Here it's pretty tight. But as you get beyond this, I mean, this is not good. And it would be very easy for one of these little mice, because, man, they can fit through something so small. I mean, my thumb will go up past this belly pan. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I was thinking of putting some like some epoxy tape or something. I don't know, Gorilla tape over this part of the pan and have it wrap over. But then it's going to go over the LED light. This seems like an easy fix on their part if they put this. Obviously, this belly pan comes in from the top, I'm assuming. And at that point, they could create a thick vinyl tape or something to actually tape it to this sidewall of the frame. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have to do something, because I live in an area where mice are problematic, and I've had this happen before. So I ordered this coach, and I got it with dual pane windows. And you can see there's a reflective material on the back of the shade. But I'm going to go ahead and point this guy right at the window. And it's 124 degrees in the sun. And then let's go inside and look in here. And it's quite a bit different. And the feel, it's so much cooler than compared to what the outside. The outside, I think you could fry an egg on right now. So the dual pane windows, thumbs up, worth the extra money. I think my biggest gripe on the rig is, while this hose on a reel is, I don't know of anybody else that's done it, I would much prefer, because I've had it now both ways, to have this monster on a reel. So this 50 amp cord is cumbersome, it's heavy. In the winter, it's going to be a pain when it gets wet or muddy. And then you got to store it. So you got to roll it up, and it's going to be somewhere in here, and I don't know. That's my biggest gripe. So if that's my biggest gripe, that's really not a very big gripe. But I would, in a heartbeat, trade this and have this be on a power reel as opposed to the hose. Because a hose, there's a hose. I can maneuver it, lift it, curl it, do whatever. But this thing is a monster. It's heavy. And that would be my preference. Craftsmanship, absolutely top notch. I've had a Van Leegh Volana, which was made by Tiffin, fifth wheel, and quite frankly, the quality, workmanship materials, everything. This rig just blows it away. The refrigerator. I love this refrigerator. But let's talk about this stupid thing. So when you travel, you're supposed to, so this is a beautiful Furion refrigerator, freezer. It's lovely inside. Has a little digital display on the door, really nice. What in God's name, who the hell invented this? This has got to be one of the most Mickey Mouse things I've ever seen. This is not Brinkley's fault, this is Furion. So in order to lock your refrigerator when you're traveling, you got to take this little screw item and put it in here and screw it, and then that stops the doors from opening. Now, Brinkley, on their wisdom, and they made a little spot right here that's magnetic so you can hold it, but I can't even believe this. So I have a 3D printer, and I'm thinking of making some sort of a hinged device that will attach probably to this metal piece here, where when it's not in use, you can flip it up. When it's in use, you can flip it down and have a lip come over to hold the refrigerator. This thing to me is just a joke. I know it's a small thing, but I don't know. It's disappointing from an engineer. I'm no engineer, but it doesn't take an idiot to look at that and say that wasn't thought out. I like the couch. This setup is pretty good. The televator, I could really live with it or without it. It's just, to me, one more thing to go wrong. I wouldn't mind if it was just a permanently affixed TV. These chairs, to me, are not up to the coach. I think these are kind of a step below as far as comfort, and they're mechanical. A lot of the higher end RVs are putting electric chairs where you move it in, move it out. These are okay, but I'm just being honest, maybe a little nitpicky, but these are not what I would consider a high-end chair. So the rig comes with two of these Max Air fans, and they're very nice. They're quiet enough, and they're controlled in here. And there's one in the bathroom, but I want to show you what I did to the one in the bathroom. So the one in the bathroom, both of them only suck out. But this guy, I just did this today. And I took, you twist these guys in and drop the screen, and it exposes 4 screws. Oops, let me get back a little bit. Exposes 4 screws to pull this frame out. And there's a circuit board right here. And if you noticed on the other Max Air fan in the kitchen, this was blank. So I bought a new circuit board and a new pressure board, little keypad here. And now I can change. If you look, it says in, out. So I can change and make this fan suck cooler air into the rig and have the other fan in the kitchen suck the air out of the rig. So I thought that's a cheap enough modification, and we'll see if that does anything, but I thought it'd be a good way, especially on a day where you don't really need air, but there's not enough air movement when you have the windows open. So I thought I'd give this a shot. One thing that I'm puzzled by is there's obviously LED lights in every room now, and they're beautiful and they work great. But why didn't they put a dimmer on every single LED in the coach? So the lights that go on underneath the kitchen cabinet, the center cabinet, the lights that go up above, nothing in here other than the main lights are on a dimmer. This just makes no sense to me. My old RV, my Tiffin, my had these guys in it, which I find work wonderful. So it's a little slide dimmer, and I can't imagine the cost is $10 maybe more to put a dimmer on. So I'm going to see if where I can get some of these switches and put dimmers in on all of my lights. The bathroom, absolutely beautiful. I love this shower system. It's really nice. The on-demand water heater, the first I've had in an RV, is wonderful. This thing here, a very strong magnet. I've read on the forums of some people where their cabinets came open, but man, you got to be going over some big. And another small but nitpicky thing, and I told you that's what this video would have, is some nitpicky stuff, but why do you have to open a cabinet to get to the light switch for the main area here? So I don't know why they just didn't put it on the wall here or over here. Just, I don't know. It's again, very nitpicky, but to have to open a door to get to the light switch that you're going to use all the time, seems like there could be a little improvement there. All right, let's talk the bedroom. Very nice setup, very nice, love it. I wish the TV was a 40 instead of a 32. There's plenty of room for it. And again, a very nitpicky thing, but what the hell? I'd like to watch TV on a 40 instead of a 32. The main thing in the bedroom I would love to see is an option to put an electric fireplace, obviously smaller, in the bedroom cabinet, just like the one that's in the living room. And the reason being is I know this air conditioner has a heat pump in it, but if you're on RV power or RV park power, it would be great to have basically a heater in here that you could run for free and not have the ceiling air conditioner / heat pump on. And you could heat the coach beautifully with just a little one of those little furnaces in here. So that would be a nice option. So let's talk the toilet for a minute. And Brinkley could be an industry first where they make their bathroom bidet ready. So those of you who have never used a bidet, you're missing out. We just started one a couple of years ago in our main house, and it is a game changer for having to use the restroom. But this toilet, because of this hump right here, makes it so you cannot use a conventional bidet. They do make some bidets that will fit under the toilet seat that just squirt cold water, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking a full service bidet, heated seat, warm, hot water if you want it. They're amazing. So Brinkley, if you're listening, put a proper toilet in that you can put a bidet on, and right here or right here put a 110 outlet, obviously GFI'd, and you guys could be the first to offer a bidet ready toilet. So that's really it. This thing is, to me, as close to perfection as I've ever seen on an RV. It's beautiful, it's clean. People are drawn to it as we go into RV parks. People come up and want to take a look at it. So Brinkley's done a wonderful job. Small amount of complaints, lot amount of praise. If I had to do it again, of course I would do it again. And to be quite frank, it's the only fifth wheel on the market today I would buy, regardless of price. That's it. Thanks for looking.